Hi everyone, I'm so glad you're here for this schoolroom tour. I apologize, it's a little bit echoey in here, but that's just the way it is, so hopefully this sounds okay. I'm so excited to share this with you all. I've been really looking forward to putting this room together. It's technically part of our dining room, but whatever, we're calling it our schoolroom. And I think it turned out really, really cute. We're gonna start our first day of homeschool tomorrow, so I figured I should probably film this and give you a tour before we start really using it, and it will inevitably get messy. So here we go. I hope you really enjoy. I do want to preface this by saying that our focus is play. So my boys are 3 and 2, and then I have a newborn as well, but the boys who are going to be doing the schooling obviously are my 3-year-old and 2-year-old. So they are still very, very little. This is just preschool focused, but play focused first and foremost. So as little kids and even older kids too, but especially as little kids, the biggest thing is just play, right? So that's one of the many reasons that we've chosen to homeschool, is to be able to really facilitate just lots and lots of learning through play. So you'll see, while this is called our schoolroom, this is just the very beginning of our homeschool journey, right? And everything in here is very focused on crafts and toys and play and activities and teaching them that way. So we are also using a curriculum before 5 in a row. I'll link it in the description, and I'll probably show you the book as well. So we are using a curriculum, but it is focused on the same kind of stuff, right? It's just the very, very basic start of schooling. So we read a book, and then there's scripture that goes along with it. There's activities, projects, baking, cooking, stuff like that, that goes along with the classic kind of children's book that we read. So all that being said, I do also want to throw in here real quick, this is the setup that we have going for us. This is, the curriculum that we've chosen and the way that we're choosing to do things, and that may look completely differently from how you're doing things with your kids, and that's okay. I know some moms absolutely can't stand like crafts and projects or sensory bins or that kind of stuff. I have friends who are like that, who just they don't enjoy it, right? It's just messy and stressful for them, and that's totally fine. You do not need to do things the way that I'm doing things by any means, but I happen to be one of those people that just absolutely loves this sort of thing. I think if I didn't have kids of my own, I could totally see myself working in like a preschool or something. I just think it's so much fun. And I really enjoy crafts and projects and doing all of that with my kids, and they love that kind of thing too. So this is what we're doing. This is what works for us. Yeah. One more thing. Our school time or learning time every day is a small portion of our morning. So I also wanted to just throw that in here and make sure that you all understand that I'm not sitting with my 3-year-old and 2-year-old all day long doing school. That's not at all what this is. Just think, more like a Montessori preschool kind of approach. So it's just a small portion of our morning, and I'm super excited about it. And my boys, like I said, they're the type, they love this kind of thing. Love it. So I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So let's get into the tour. All right, I'll see if I can give you kind of a broad view of things here. So our dining room table, which is now over here, used to be over here. And I'm kicking myself because I just feel like I was not utilizing this space well at all. And I wish I had done something like this so much sooner. So this is kind of what it looks like as the big overview here, and then I'll walk you through everything that I did. Okay, we'll start over here. So these shelves we actually had in my husband's office, and they were just empty. We didn't really have a use for them. So I'm so glad that we hung on to them because they have been perfect for this. So my husband brought those up here, and we got those set up, and then I had all of their children's books in our living room, and I had been kind of looking for a different option. It's nice having them in the living room because it encourages them to read more, but they just were getting everywhere all the time. So I'm glad we had room on these shelves. We moved all the children's books we have in here. I think there's a few in their room, but other than that, they're all right here. And then most of this stuff we already had. So a lot of this is from our playroom in our basement, and I just brought it up here because I felt like it kind of would fit well for the type of thing that we're going to be doing up here. So we've got blocks, we've got Montessori toys, we've got puzzles. Those are like little dinosaur egg dig thingies. And Desi really enjoys those. And then another thing I did, so these are like kid safe knives and everything for when we do cooking together. And then those are just wooden food. They love pretending to chop those up for me. I'll say, can you go chop up some fruit for mommy? And Liam especially really enjoys that. And then over here, all of these bins are sensory bins. So this was a big project that I was really excited about. I went through Pinterest and found tons of different sensory bins that I was excited to put together for the boys, just things that I figured they would find fun and that aren't too messy. So, I mean, there's all kinds of sensory bins here. I mean, you can see there's so many. So these are pre-made, ready to go. The boys have already played with a ton of them already, and we just put them together the other day. So they're a huge hit so far, and I figure they'll be a really great resource for the colder months as well. Just to have lots of different things that we can do inside when playing outside isn't an option. If you all would be interested, I can absolutely do a video going through all of these sensory bins. I might do a short or something. I don't know if that would be that interesting of a video, but I find that kind of thing really fun, and I'm sure grateful that there were so many resources out there for me of people sharing their sensory bin ideas. So I might do that in the future and show you what's actually in all of them. Yeah, but lots and lots of fun stuff in there. And then this is our little table. One of the chairs is actually in the boys' room right now, but there should be a second chair. And then these are just trays for activities. I mean, that's literally what they're called, are activity trays. And then markers, crayons, and over here, so then up on this wall, I have a chalkboard, which I'm sure will get lots of use. And for now, it has some Bible verses on it. It has the verses that go along with our first book for this coming week, and then the book that we're going to be reading. And then I got these maps. I thought they just looked really vintage and cool. And I mean, come on, for a schoolroom, you got to have your, your maps up on the wall. Although, of course, my boys are not going to be learning much about geography for a while, but they look cool. They're maps that will be hung onto and used a lot in the future, I'm sure. So then we've got these super cute posters. I will try to link as much as I can in the description box for you guys, just in case you are interested in any of these. Obviously, none of this is like sponsored or anything. I'm not that fancy, but I will at least link things so that you can look into them if you like them. I just thought these were so stinking cute. And then here, I got this rocking chair a while back at the thrift store, and I just think it's really cute. But it was kind of getting in the way in the living room, so I moved that in here. And then this is our toy basket, which also was in the living room. I had really been wanting to kind of clear out our living room as much as possible because I've just been feeling like so overwhelmed by clutter in there, and as best I can keeping it organized and everything. It's just, especially with little kids and toys everywhere, it just has felt really overwhelming recently. So I moved their toy bin in here. We pretty much emptied it out, put 95% of it away in the playroom, and then every week we let the boys choose like a few toys for that week that we bring upstairs, just so that they have some things up here because our playroom is in the basement. So they have some things up here to play with. But yeah, we cleared out a lot of it, and then I moved it in here so that at least, even if they're playing with things in the living room a lot, at least we have a place to put them away that is not in the living room. And so hopefully that'll help with some of the clutter. I feel like this is such a great space too, just for them to play in here as well. Again, I just am kicking myself for not utilizing this space more. But whatever, we're figuring it out now. I feel like once you've been living in a place for a while, we've been here for about a year now, you've settled in enough and you're learning the space well enough that you can start to really utilize it more efficiently and effectively. So here we are. Got some little toy animals down there, so cute. And then these, I thought these were just really cool posters. I found them online. They're just so vintage looking and I don't know. I just thought they were cool. So we've got those. And then this is our like craft supplies. I do have a shelf in a closet a closet, you can see my pointy finger in my shadow. We have another thing holding a bunch of craft supplies. Oh my gosh, I'm realizing how much I talk with my hands. This is ridiculous. This is stuff that we use a lot. So, and the boys know, they're not to get into this kind of thing. So that's why I'm able to have paint here where they're able to reach it, but they just know they're not to get into that. So, and then we've got Play-Doh and more like water. I think our water pens are in there, and then crayons and that sort of thing. Down here, there's just chalk and bubbles, kind of outdoor stuff. And then the bottom shelf has our little board games and lots of coloring books, dry erase books as well. The boys really enjoy those, sticker books, that kind of thing. And in here I have construction paper, glue, just all the crafty kind of things. So then this is the curriculum that we're using. This is actually the same curriculum that my mom used with me when I was little. So this is obviously the revised, updated edition since then. But I'm sure it's pretty much the same. So it's meant for this before 5 in a row is for ages 2 to 4. So it's kind of perfect for my boys' ages right now, having a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. And then there's another step up from this that I think is called, maybe it's just called More Before 5 in a Row or something like that. That's for kind of the next step. I think it's like ages 3 to 5. And then 5 in a Row is the actual curriculum for like kindergarten and up, I believe. I hope I got that right. But it's super, super cute. I don't want to this is their work and everything. And so I don't want to share too much of it, but it's super cute. It's, again, just focused on I'll just show you one. So this is the first one. So it just has a book. It has scripture. There's all these prompts basically to help you teach your kids, good questions to ask and projects to do. And so much good stuff. So that's what we're using. And then my mom, thankfully, speaking of having, she's already done this before, many times before with me and my siblings. She had the book, thankfully, so I thought we owned this one, but somehow we didn't. So my mom came through and lent us the book, and then she put corduroy in there as well because she feels like it goes well together, which I think is so cute. And then she also had the little bear, dressing the bear kind of puzzle thingy. So the boys are very excited to play with that. And then some trays for the little meal that we're going to make. So that is our little schoolroom. I'm so excited to get started on all of this. And the boys are super excited too. I think it'll just be so special. Again, it's going to be I think the time that I've blocked out for it in the morning is max an hour. Most days I'm sure it'll be more half an hour or something like that. It's not, it's not super involved. It's not it's not anything super crazy. It's just a nice little pocket of learning time, project time. I'm sure we'll do lots of baking and cooking and music and art, all kinds of stuff. Lots and lots of reading, obviously, with the books and everything. So it's just going to be a really special time. And then I've also, like I said, I've got our sensory bins and everything, which are going to be so handy when the weather is cold and we can't be outside as much, can't be going places as much too. Because I'm sure all you mamas know when you've got those littles and you need to keep them entertained and you can't go outside, that can be challenging. So we're set for the cold months for sure. I will just go ahead and kind of give a closer view of everything, just in case you want to stick around and kind of see things a little closer. And yeah, thank you for being here. This is really fun to kind of share this with you all. We'll see, like I said, this is all very new. We have done a little curriculum before with Desi, but kind of just here and there. It required quite a bit of setup and everything, so it wasn't always something that I could manage every single day. But this is really our first big step, little step maybe, into homeschooling, and it's just very exciting, and I think it'll be really special for the boys. I should say here too, you obviously do not need pretty much any of this stuff in order to venture into this world of homeschool preschool. I'm very, very grateful that I was able to put together a little space like this. I know not everyone has space to use like this, or, means to buy cute posters, or, I'm very, very grateful for what we have and to have been able to make this special little space. But yeah, please don't feel like you need to do things the way that I'm doing things. Yeah. If you want to support us, you can like and comment, subscribe. That's super helpful. Sharing things is always really helpful. And yeah, thank you again for being here. We will be back with more videos very soon. Bye.